Hi, Julie Jones from SSB Performance, Smarter, Stronger, Better Mindset Training. Here with this week's Mindset Made Simple Tip of the Week, brought to you by Game Day Sportswear. This week, we're talking about the coaching effect and how it can enhance our performance. And I bet you're thinking that I'm going to talk to you about how important it is to have a coach. Everybody should have a coach. Well, not quite, but I do agree. Everyone should have a coach, including coaches. So if you need a mental coach, hit me up. Not the full topic. The coaching effect. What is the coaching effect? Well, I got to experience it last night. On Sunday evenings, I normally spend time with my individual clients. And last night, I put two clients together. I put one of my Division I soccer players and one of my 8th grade soccer players. I had promised this for months, and we finally got it together. And the reason we were doing it at this time is because the 8th grader is at a point in her club, one of the best clubs in the country that I work with. She's at the point where she can move up to the ECNL. So that's the top level of club soccer in the country. She's not sure whether she wants to do it. And we'll get to that in just a second. The Division I soccer player has already been through this club. She's already been through getting into ECNL. She's already been through the whole process, and now she's playing at a Power 5 school. And I thought, this is awesome, right? This kid really needs to hear from the experience of this college player who's been there as an 8th grader, and she's lived it. So let's talk about it together. The other thing that this athlete needed, she needs a little bit of push to do extra. And her mom's like, can you get us with that older kid so that she can tell her that she has to do extra work other than just what she's doing with the club. So I said, oh, perfect. Okay, this is great. But my thought process was twofold. It wasn't just for the 8th grader. It was also for the college athlete. The college athlete has struggled. She's been injured all season. She got her year back of eligibility and hardship, but it's been tough. She's had to make really hard decisions on what she was going to do. There's lack of communication going on. So she has struggled, and she's managed it well, but it's still been a struggle. So here we are with two athletes, two different issues, but putting them together sparked something that all of us can use. The 8th grader started to talk about what her opportunities are right now. The college student started to talk about the confidence that she struggled with when she was her age. And all of a sudden, our conversation surrounded confidence as the underlying factor in everything. But lo and behold, this magic happened where the older student, the older athlete, was helping the younger athlete and helping herself at the same time, but she didn't realize it. This is what I was getting at. I knew that the young kid needed to hear from this awesome role model. I also knew that this awesome role model needed to remember that she has all the tools she needs to reach her goals. And one way we can do that is to help others. If you go to SSB Performance and you read this, you'll find Angela Duckworth, Katie Milkman, Emily Whitner, at Penn. They did research on this exact exchange. Giving advice was found to help the advice giver even more than the person who received the advice. Why? Because when we're giving advice, we're talking about something that we believe will work. And as we're saying it, we start to believe it more. So as Allie was talking about the fact, well, when Julie and I worked on this, and as we work through this, then she started to saying, then I did this, not Julie and I did this, I worked through this, I rehearsed this, I was able to change my focus on this, I changed my perspective on this, and she became the author of her plan. It was awesome. In the meantime, my young athlete is listening, shaking her head, really connecting to all these things. She also has heard these things from Julie, and now she's hearing them from someone else, which is always awesome because now she knows that I'm using the same tools with her that I'm using with these amazing and high-performing people, as she is too for her age. But what my college athlete did, unbeknownst to her, was she started to believe herself more. When we give advice, when we offer opinions or beliefs, we automatically believe them more to take care of the dissonance that goes on in our mind. There's no dissonance now because we know that we are one with this advice. We are not going to give advice to someone that we really care about that's not going to work. As we are saying the things we're saying, we're like, yeah, that did work, or that does work, or I've seen that work, or I've lived this. So that's number one. Number two, as we're giving advice, we are laying a plan that we either remember using or we remind ourselves that this is the plan that I can take too. So not only are we immersing ourselves deeper into what we believe or know is true to have happened in the past, or we know will work because we have the information we need. Number two, we are giving steps that we too can follow. And then we're like, oh yeah, hey, I need to do that still too. Or that worked before. Yes, when she's doing it, I also need to do it. So there's two really good things there. The other thing that this does is it reminds us that we are the advice giver. How many times in your life have you felt as if you can't do something because you don't have enough information? Raise your hands. We then think we have to depend on someone else to give us something to be able to get things done. As we're giving opinions, advice, steps, information, tools, whatever it is, we realize now that we actually have the information we need. We are not acting on it for a reason, maybe because we forgot how, maybe because we didn't believe it quite as much as we needed to, or we didn't even believe that we had the information we needed. Now we know we do because we're giving it to somebody else. It makes us less dependent. We are not depending on someone else giving us something to get something done. We are actually going out and paving the way for someone else or helping them see that. And in the meantime, paving our own way with whatever it is that we're both struggling with. This is a great tool. It's a no-cost tool. There's no downside to it. What we are doing is we are coaching somebody else. And in the meantime, as we're talking, as we're rehearsing, as we do when we're starting to think about this, we are also coaching ourselves. One of my former bosses at Cleveland State back at the very beginning used to say, coach him up. And he wasn't at that point talking about this. He was like, go lead, go make them better. This kind of coach him up is not only helping give direction and a little bit of guidance to those who are struggling, it's also giving guidance and information, or reminding us that we have the information inside of us when we are struggling. So the research that they did at Penn with all the heavy hitters proved that people who gave advice perform better, even better, than the people who the advice was given to. They performed better against themselves, whatever their past performance was, and in a comparison, they performed better than the person they were giving advice to, which makes a little bit of sense if you really think about that. But what they weren't certain was that they were going to get the boost against their own performance. So this is a simple tool. The next time you're struggling with something, or you see someone struggling with something, have them coach somebody up. It will help them remember their way. And isn't that what we all need a reminder of at times? That we know the way. Now we have to connect what we know to what we do, because the behaviors are what really matters. Take the knowledge, put it into action. You have it. This is a way to remind yourself of it, which then leads you to change your confidence, which improves your performance. It leads you to lay out the steps so you can change your behaviors and you can march out and tackle whatever it is you're struggling with because you have what you need to do it. How do you know? You just gave that advice to somebody else and you want them to succeed. So you are giving them something that you know works. So try the coaching effect. See how it works for you. I'd love to hear your results. I'd also love to coach your team in 2024. If you're interested in starting a mental performance program in any way, shape, or form, juliej@ssbperformance.com. Let's connect and let's get a session or a program set for you. In the meantime, coach them up. Have a great day. We'll see you next week.